Hey, Phil from Breakthrough Fitness, and I'm doing this series, my deep dive series, and this is part 1, and this is roll and release. And so I'm going to show you how to take a foam rolling exercise and just go a little deeper, a little more specific on an area that might be a problem area. And today the problem area we're going to focus on is the adductor or inner thigh. And I'm going to tie that into the hamstring a little bit, which is also a tough muscle to roll in a typical way where you're down on the ground. So if you notice here, I have a foam roller and I have a step stool. So you need a good surface. This could also be like a wider bench, something that you can actually place the roller on top of. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the roller on top, and then I'm going to put some pressure, and I'm going to turn my leg. So I'm going to rotate my leg internally, and I'm going to put some pressure right on that inner thigh. Now, the inner thigh muscles run up above the knee all the way up, and they attach on the pelvis. So sometimes people have low back issues or low back tightness, and that's really coming from the tightness in the adductors here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate internally, and again, it's always the same with the roller. It's sort of a search and destroy. Once I find a tender spot, I want to oscillate back and forth, and I just want to loosen it up. Now, the adjustment here is if I want to get a little more hamstring, I just open up my leg a little more. And you'll notice this position, you can hold on to the foam roller for stability. Maybe you have something near you. And I'm just getting right on that hamstring. And I'll tell you the areas, both for the adductor and the hamstring, that are usually really tight. They're really high up on the leg, very close to where it attaches into the hip. And so as I'm going back and forth here, I'm really feeling that stretch. Now, let's just say that I want to get lower on the leg, then I can go here and get that hamstring. So it's different for everybody, but for the roll and release, you just want to find those tender spots and then put some pressure on it, and then that oscillation. Okay, so that's a deep dive, roll and release, adductor, hamstring. Let's move on to step 2. Okay, so the second part, this is the move and mobilize. And so now that we've stretched and softened up the tissue with the foam roller, we want to move it. We want to lengthen it out. We want to stretch it. So this is a little series that we do as part of our Fab 5, and it's a little side-to-side motion. And then I go to hamstring. I go to this middle. You can push off the floor, keep a flat back position, or you can lower down. So I'm going here, and that just opens up the hip and the adductor. So I'm getting a little bit of hamstring, a little bit of that inner thigh. And then I pivot over and do the other side. And then I go back to the middle. All right, let me show you a couple variations. I can go foot flat here. So as I come over, I can keep the foot flat, go side to side, center. Or I can go toe up like I was doing, and then I can oscillate a little bit with my body forward and back, or with my foot. So I can bring my foot down and up, and I'll show you that on the other side. So I'm here, and then I'm internally rotating the leg, and then externally rotating. Okay, then I come back to center. I'll show you one more version, and I'll show you on this side. So I'm here, I can also turn my upper body and reach. So let me show you on the other side. So I'm here, this is a little more adductor as I face forward, but then I turn and I reach, and I'm getting a lot more hamstring there. So a little turn and reach, and then I come back to that reset in the center. Okay? And that will loosen up the hip, loosen up the adductors, and give you better mobility through the hips. Now we need to strengthen it. Okay, so the third piece of this is the strengthening. So I have a dumbbell here. It's not a heavy dumbbell. You don't need to go heavy. You can always build into it. But now that I have the tissue lengthened out and softened up, I added some mobility, so I have good range of motion now. Now I want to load that range of motion. So I want to add a little bit of resistance here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little step out side lunge and come back. So a little step out side lunge and come back. So that muscle in this leg, my right leg, is doing the work. I'm obviously using both legs, but this is getting stretched out and worked out. Okay, so I'm just going to switch sides. And I'm reaching out and coming back up. Reaching out and coming back up. Now the hamstring. So we did a little bit of the adductor, so I want to show you the hamstring. And this is what I love to do for the hamstring. It's a single leg deadlift. So it's a hip hinge, single leg, and then I come back up. So I'm just hinging at the hip, and I'm lengthening out my hamstring and my glutes, and I'm coming back up. If balance is a challenge for you, just put the foot down. So as I reach out and come up, I can put the foot down. As you get a little more advanced, you can come up and keep the foot off the ground. Make sure you come up all the way, come up tall. So here, down, and back up. Nice and slow, stretch it out, try to keep that flat back position, and come all the way up. Okay, and that's how you strengthen the adductors and the hamstrings. Hey, thanks for checking out this video. Please like the video if it was helpful for you. Make any comments below or any suggestions on other videos that you might like to see. You can also share this video. So say you know somebody that has some back issues or some type of issues that you think this would address, please share the video link with people. And of course, if you subscribe to our channel, you'll get updates and you'll get the latest videos as we release them.